I'm glad that you brought up the points that you did, because how thankful are we for InArt in 2022? And I want to start again with Optical, because Optical, I'm not even sure. Do you have any InArt figures on pre-order? Maybe the Joker?
No, no.
Okay, no. You're kind of waiting and seeing is
Yeah,
basically what you're
yeah.
doing. Okay. But Optical, how thankful are you for InArt? Like, are you thankful at all that they exist? What do you think what kind of impact do you think they've had so far?
Oh yeah, I mean, because I one of there's one of the passionate things that I do have is Lord of the Rings, and to
Mm-hmm.
finally have maybe quote unquote a better Aragorn is a must have for me. I'm thankful for InArt that they exist. Like I'm with Lyle here. I'm not going to buy everything that they offer just because the characters that they do have is not something that really appeals to me completely. And even if it does, like their price point is a little bit suspect at this point, especially with how much Hot Toys is worth. Like and we
Mm-hmm.
all talk about, well, if they can charge Spider-Man for 400, InArt sounds cheap at 600. But there's so many Hot Toys that are like 170 right now.
Exactly.
So I could
Exactly.
buy literally three Hot Toys for one. I'm not and I'm not going to buy the 450 Spider-Man. That might go down as well. But I do love the fact that InArt exists. I like the fact that we can get almost customized figure
Mm-hmm.
for almost like a retail price. Because back in the day, without InArt, this custom pieces they would cost you over 1,500.
Right.
And I'm not willing to pay that. I'm almost not willing to pay what they're asking for, much more so a custom. But I like that they're there. They might push Hot Toys, a little bit here and there. With how they approach things, you can see that Hot Toys is, outside of Loki, it looks like they're being a little bit faster now on their shipping and all that stuff. Uh, but I like what they have. I like what they offer. Hopefully they continue to grow. Hopefully they get more characters, because if they do, maybe they can produce the characters that I'm willing to buy in a more expensive way. Because I'm not going to buy every single one of their lineup, because that's
Mm-hmm.
going to be so super expensive. And plus, I don't love every single one of their announcements. Like the only one that appeals to me really is Joker and Aragorn. All the other ones I'm okay with just having Hot Toys with them, and I'm okay with that. Even the Black Adam, they come up with a Black Adam unless it's like totally blows the other Hot Toys Black Adam out of the water. I won't do that. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I like the fact that they're here. Hopefully they flourish so they can push Hot Toys. Basically, I want them to succeed so Hot Toys could be cheaper. That's
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
that's my
And
point
better
here.
too. And better. Yeah.
Yeah, because if Hot Toys becomes better because of them, then I'll be happy. It's just because their price point is just not. It's not something that I don't see myself consuming them all the time. They'll
Right.
probably be a one-off for me, like once or twice or maybe three times a year at most.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny at Optical, I feel like I've taken maybe a slightly different approach to it. I'm not going to buy just any old character from InArt. It would have to be one that I really love. But I think I've gotten to the point where I really want the best collection and collectibles that I can possibly afford. So I'm not going to, I can't really afford customs. I mean, I could buy them, but I wouldn't have any money to do anything else. How am I going to eat or get groceries or do whatever I want, right? So, but as far as like this Pennywise, for example, I'm absolutely going to get this because, Optical, this is absolutely like an S tier character for me. This is like one of the ones that I truly love and I really want the best version, which is why I was willing to sell the Hot Toys, both of them at a loss, to buy this. So, and I bought two of these. I don't know if that's going to be stupid or not, but there's two head sculpts. That's why I wanted two of them. But yeah, you wouldn't do it for every character because the price tag, looking at 450, 500 plus per figure, it's definitely not something where you would just like go all in and buy every single one. You'd have to really love the character. And our figures are for really, for people who really absolutely love that character that they're offering at that time. It wouldn't just be a so-so character, for lack of a better term. So, it's like Pennywise for me. Let's say they got Marvel and they did Loki, 100% I'd be in, right? Gandalf I really like a lot because I really want the Lord of the Rings line Optical. Like Asmus, I feel like, yeah, sometimes they produce some pretty good stuff, but I think InArt has a lot more potential than they do. So that's kind of how I'm approaching it. I'm very thankful for InArt personally. Before I let Lael jump in on this one, I'm very thankful for them just because they're offering something that I think we didn't know we needed in this community. Like not everyone's going to buy them, but I feel like the fact that, like you said, Opco, that they exist, that they're offering something quote unquote high end sort of custom like for a pretty reasonable price in the end of things. Coming into this, I didn't think InArt prices were that reasonable. I was looking at it and I was like, like, I don't know if people are going to pay $500 for a figure. That seems like a lot. But the more Hot Toys prices started to rise, and I get what you're saying, Optical, a lot of times they do get discounted, so that makes sense. But the more Hot Toy prices start to rise and I see the quality of these prototypes from InArt, I'm like, hey, I'm starting to kind of buy into this a little bit. Maybe I'm buying into the hype too much, and I guess we'll see. John's already told me they're working on the InArt Joker like really, really hard right now. They're trying to get that out ASAP. But I'm very thankful for them because I'm hoping that they push Hot Toys to innovate more and just, make a consistent bar. Because sometimes Hot Toys will release some absolute bangers, and sometimes they'll release some shitty figures. That's just how I view it by their standards. They're still great collectibles by the community, by the industry standard, but as far as their standard, it's not on their level of quality of work. So I'm hoping that InArt keeps them accountable in a sense, but I don't know that they really will, just because Star Wars and Marvel is always going to be the cream of the crop. So Pennywise is not Darth Vader. So that's kind of, what we're looking at. But I'm just excited that InArt is offering something a little bit maybe higher tier, possibly, depending upon how these come out. But like movable eyes, better tailoring, rooted head sculpts. I'm just excited about that. So the magnetic bases, the innovations there, the die-cast parts, stuff like that. So I'm really thankful that they exist, Optical, just because of, the fact that they're, I don't know, maybe pushing, hopefully, Hot Toys a little bit and pushing the industry forward a little bit. That's kind of how I would view it. But I want to let Lael jump in. I don't want to talk too much. Lael, how thankful are you for InArt in 2022?
I'm happy for them. I'm happy that they're here. I'm happy that they are basically innovating. I'm glad that, we get the Joker from them. It's one figure that I've been wanting for a long time. But I will say I'll be thankful when I see more diversity. And I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I know you've been consistent about that. So
and I'm just going to drill down with it. I mean, I think that they, Hot Toys, we talked about that with Hot Toys. I have nothing else to say to them about it because they've shown that they do care about diversity, and they are throwing it in there, and they've proven that, within this last year. With the diversity and the widespread of diversity we've gotten with figures. We've gotten Reva, we've gotten Valkyrie, we've gotten so many figures, of color. We will get a Namor. I mean, I know that's going to actually come out. Once InArt reaches that level, then I'll be thankful. Right now, I'm just happy for him.
Yeah, that makes sense, bro. Absolutely. And yeah. Optical, do you have any sort of reply to kind of what I said about being thankful for InArt? Anything else you want to add?
Oh no, like I agree. Like with InArt, the fact that they're there, I think initially, I know we have this both thought process because we looked at InArt as a competitor to Hot Toys,
right?
And we shouldn't have. We should have looked at them as an alternative, because when you're competing with Hot Toys, that means this Batman right here is competing with Hot Toys. Joker is not competing with Hot Toys because there's no competition. This would determine if they can stand with Hot Toys, because this is a direct competition with Hot Toys. You can say that Pennywise, but it's not a competition because the price is, the price difference is massive, and it came out a year ago. So basically there's a huge gap in terms of quality. Without the rooted hair of this guy, this is direct competition to Hot Toys. So this guy would dictate, and not Joker, because Joker is a must. Like Joker, people are going to buy that, regardless if you're Hot Toys collectors or not. This would determine if collectors are willing to purchase this with a higher price tag or a Hot Toys, because that would determine, like, oh, we can stand toe to toe with them, or are we just going to make the things that they don't make, or are we going to step it up and make things that they do make but price it a little bit higher, and we become an alternative for people who wants a higher, let's say, higher quality of a Pennywise or higher quality Aquaman. Which one are they going to be? I guess we're going to find out, soon enough but regardless of whichever they want to be, I'm glad that they're there, because I might not buy this Batman. Maybe I'll just buy the Hot Toys one. But if they make, for example, a nice Aquaman that's fairly reasonable, I like Aquaman, maybe I'll buy it. I like the fact that somebody will make it at a higher, at a higher rate, at a better quality, and it exists. I'd rather have that than them not existing at all.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, like you said, having the option, like Lael had mentioned too, having the option, I think is really important.